Welcome to the Thunder. My name's Ethan.
My name's Joshua.
I'm Justin.
And we are, this is our first official podcast. We are three brothers that just wanted to come together and talk. We live in different areas of Missouri, and so this is our way of getting to talk and hang out. So we figured we'd we'd go live with it. The first thing we're going to be talking about is the weather in Missouri.
Yes, the weather is very bad here in Missouri right now. uh, when I was leaving work today, there were a couple. It's very icy out right now. There's some winter warnings in our area. Actually, there was a little bit, a few miles up north. There was a place that got a warning for a blizzard coming, but it's very icy outside right now. There were a couple spots coming home from work today about 3 o'clock. It took me about an hour to get home. It usually takes me about 25 minutes. And there were a couple spots where there were a lot of cars in areas where they shouldn't have been at that weren't on the road. And it's pretty icy up here right now, I guess, to say the least.
What time did it start getting bad up there?
I mean, I couldn't really tell because I think it was probably right around 2 o'clock, I would guess.
Yeah.
Because that's when I was still at work at that point. But that was around the time people started walking in. They were like, hey, it's getting slippery out there.
Right on. And is it raining or just snow or just what?
It's just pretty much sleet right now, but
Sleet.
then it's all freezing to the ground. But then we're supposed to get a bunch of snow tomorrow. Like it's supposed to be, they're calling for like 18 inches.
Jeez.
Yeah.
Damn. Here it's only, I think it was 35 here, 35 degrees. I haven't been outside in a while, but I didn't think it was slick or anything out yet.
I'm located in Nevada, and there's no snow. It's just like misting rain, and it freezes. And yeah, my deck's frozen, and my porch is frozen, and that's where we're at right now.
Did you guys
Is
get
it
any?
slippery out there?
Did what?
Is it slippery out there on your back deck?
It's pretty slick. Yeah, I went to Walmart and grabbed some salt before
Yeah.
it got stupid.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, you have no idea. The stores are empty up here in Kansas
Well,
City.
yeah, when I
Like,
walked
it's
in
crazy.
Walmart, they had two pallets out there. One's like pet safe salt, and one's not. Which, like, is salt?
Yeah. What
Like,
makes it
how's
not?
salt bad for your pet? But I
Well,
bought
they
the
put
non-pet
chemicals in
safe.
some of that shit. Which, now that I think about it, I got my bag from work because I didn't go to the store yesterday when everybody else ransacked everything. And I'm sure that stuff that they got at work is not safe for pets. And I mean, it's a weird color. I know they put some kind of chemical in that stuff.
Yeah. It says
And
it says here. It says rock salt is not safe as it can cut your dog's paws and is toxic if ingested in large quantities.
I would think they're smart enough not to eat like a whole bunch of it. But I bought the $5 bag, the non-pet safe. So the pet safe stuff's like twice as much.
Yeah. I wonder what's in it that makes it not pet safe.
Yeah, like, so, I mean, salt's
No, I'm telling you,
really,
there's got to be some
really
kind of
good. Is it
chemical in
necessary?
there that like heats up when in contact with water or something. Something crazy like that, and it'll like burn your skin if you touch it or something. I guarantee it.
It says sodium chloride, but that's salt, right?
Yeah, basically.
Yeah, it says rock salt.
I mean, Yeah, that's not much different than
Here,
normal salt.
let me try this. Chemical.
Podcasting.
Yeah, it just says it's sodium chloride. That it says it cuts their paws, gives them frostbite, and when ingested in large quantities, it can cause serious health issues. The high sodium content. But that means that pet safe rock salt, is it not salt or something?
It doesn't have. I think it was when I read the bag. It was something about like magnesium and something else. It's not. It doesn't have sodium in it, from what I read.
That seems like that may be more sketchy to me.
But I mean, how much your dog would have to eat a shitload of salt to get sick?
Right.
Yeah.
I think, but
Yeah, it says it.
I mean, I have a little deck and a little porch, and I don't think that he would ingest enough for it to be a problem. So I just.
Oh, I sprinkled that shit all over the place. It's purple.
It's purple color? I haven't opened
Yeah.
the bag. The pet safe is purple or the
No, the like high grade shit that the
sodium?
it's the
Like
stuff that like the car dealerships and stuff get, like those big ass bags. I've never seen them sold at a store before.
Huh. That's weird.
But yeah,
Fun
it's
fact.
purple. Yeah. I was digging in there and scooping it out because it's a big ass bag. I was scooping it out and throwing it out, but it didn't burn my fingers or nothing. But I guarantee there's some kind of chemical in there that turns it purple. Because my fingers were all turning purple and stuff.
I don't know how true this is, but Minnesota, they're the Vikings. They're purple, right?
Mm-hmm.
They use beet juice
instead of rock salt, or
icing. Yeah, because they have their winters are so frequent and so often, and it doesn't rust your cars out. They use beet salt.
Huh.
Well, it's not salt; it's just beet juice. But I don't know if that's true. That's just what I've heard. But it makes sense, as why their team is purple.
Yeah. What is I mean, is a beet really salty? I've never had a beet.
Not really. It's just some chemical in the beets, like it doesn't freeze.
Beets have like a very
I think they grow in the
taste to
wintertime
them.
too.
Like there's nothing really that tastes like a beet that I
Yeah.
can think.
Yeah.
I mean, so is there a difference?
It's almost an earthy taste. Like it doesn't taste like much really.
Is
like
there
just a bunch of water and kind of earthy?
Right. If it's not pickled, like
Yeah,
it tastes totally
you
different.
don't have a lot of flavor.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I was about to ask, because I know like the only beets that mom and dad has are the pickled beets, and so I didn't.
Yeah, they put a whole bunch of sugar and all kinds of shit in them things.
Yeah, to flavor that thing. Beets are really good for you, though.
Are they?
Very good.
Yeah, actually, things that are like purple and red, they have a lot of like antioxidants in them.
Antioxidants and yeah.
Right on.
Oh, and speaking about the bad weather, the Chiefs are stranded at the Kansas City airport tonight, right now. Saw a headline about an hour and a half ago.
Do you think they get? Are they just like out there in the lobby, or do you think they have like a special hideaway place that they get to go?
I guarantee they got a special spot that they go. They probably have a big ass bus that they're still on.
Yeah,
That's nice as fuck.
that's true.
They're not out there in the public for everybody to see.
That would suck. But I've heard about like other celebrities getting stuck, and they're just out there with everybody. Like,
Yeah, but they probably just get a limo ride to the airport, and then they find out that their flight's delayed, so then they're stuck there.
right,
They don't have a whole fucking organization behind them, you know.
right. So
Besides their age.
what about snow and sleet and stuff? Is it just because taking off is like harder and landing?
Yeah,
Okay. But it doesn't actually affect flying. Like once you're in the air, you're typically good, right?
I would imagine with all the ice and everything on the aircraft, because it gets colder as you go up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would imagine that affects the flight quite a bit.
A lot of drag probably from the ice buildup.
Yeah,
Huh.
and that shit getting in the turbines and shit.
Yeah. It's extra weight. I don't know if any of you have ever
Airplanes
flown
weigh
a
a
plane, but I have, and I've hit turbulence, and it's weird. It's like you free fall for a little bit. Like you feel the plane just like fall and then catch and then take off and then fall and then catch. It's just really like, and it's quick, like within a couple seconds. It's very violent, like
Yeah,
kind of
Huh.
like this. I don't know, it's hard to
Yeah.
explain. Like
yeah.
a jittery feeling.
It's like hitting a speed bump, but you're in the air on a fucking airplane.
Yeah.
That's what I would compare it to.
What
Like
airline
you're
did
hitting
you
a bunch of
use?
speed bumps. Just
So when I flew, it was a little bitty like. So there was two seats on one side, and then there was just one seat on one side, and I sat by the window on the one side.
Hmm.
It's not like the movies, the movies. Oh, you're in a big 747, and you're going to.
Where'd you fly to?
I flew to Texas, to
Maybe it's just
Hyundai
'cause
school.
it it was probably because it was a shorter air flight, and whoever paid for it probably bought the cheapest flight like that they could have paid for.
Do you know what airline
Yeah,
it was?
I flew.
Yeah,
No, I don't remember. I flew out of Springfield, which isn't a very big airport,
Mm.
So like,
yeah, that's why. Springfield Airport, I don't think they can have like commercial airliners land there.
I didn't even know they
but
had an airport.
oh
Yeah.
yeah, Joplin has it. Nevada has an airport. I mean,
Yeah, everywhere's got an airport, man.
Well, I mean, I knew Nevada had one, but I thought that was for like people with personal craft.
That's mainly what it's for, yeah.
Yeah.
yeah,
Like,
Springfield's big enough to have like commercial stuff. Just it's still a tiny airport.
yeah.
An airplane actually wouldn't be a bad thing to invest in if you knew how to fly,
Yeah.
Like you could fly fucking anywhere.
That's true. One of my
It'd be a lot cheaper than like driving all the way there. Or a lot quicker.
Like from here to Texas, it felt like not even an hour. It was maybe like 30 to 45 minutes is what it felt like.
Yeah, from here to California, I think it was only like 3 hours or something. Like it wasn't long. It literally felt like we were going up the whole time. And then as soon as we got up to the top, we just started coming right back down. And then we were in California. Like,
Yeah.
but
Dude, the best part is taking off.
mhm.
Like, I don't know. It's the amount of that you get. For
Yeah,
something
the G forces.
Oh, dude, it's a good feeling. Like that's a lot of
Yeah.
horsepower, man.
Yeah. Yeah, we flew.
That thing really start accelerating.
Yeah, we flew Spirit Airlines, and it was a pretty small. It had two on each side, but it was a pretty small little tube. You could only take like one bag of luggage. You couldn't take much. And everybody says that's like the shittiest airline, but we didn't hit turbulence or like there was nothing scary about it. It went exactly like it was supposed to go, I'm pretty sure.
And when I went, a lot of people bitch about like luggage and shit and getting checked in. Like I didn't have any
I've
problem with
never
that.
had a problem
Is-
with luggage.
To me, it's a
I've
very
only
tense situation when they're like scanning you in, like you got people behind you, they're trying to like rush you through, and you're just trying to get your fucking shoes off so that you can put them up in the thing. Like that to me was the most stressful part of the whole flight, was trying to get onto the plane.
dude. Never mind. I probably shouldn't say this online.
It's like it's like a roller coaster ride. You can't, once you get on, you can't get off. I mean, you just gotta suck it up. And
I mean, there's ways to get off. You're probably just gonna get arrested afterwards.
How many times have you guys flown?
One time.
I've just flown one time.
What about you?
I think I've been on like 6 different airplanes.
Damn, where have you been going?
I mean, really nowhere far away.
You went to Australia once, didn't you?
No, I never went to Australia.
Oh, I thought you went to Australia with Kyle once.
No, his parents offered to pay for me to go there and live with them, but
That would have been cool.
yeah, mom and dad didn't let me go. So I've flown to Denver, Chicago, I think somewhere in North Dakota, I think. And St. Louis. Flew to St. Louis once from Kansas City.
That's like, oh, we're up, we're down.
Yeah, that was like nothing. Yeah.
Do you think going from
Maybe it's only been 4.
going from Kansas, so don't they have like, isn't the goal like to get up to 40,000 feet?
I mean, there's different altitudes for. I'm sure they don't get up to the full height when they're flying from Kansas City to St. Louis.
Yeah, there's no way. There's no way because
That's like a 3-hour drive. It's like a 30-minute flight. Like,
how big was the plane?
I mean, it was not a small plane,
No.
normal sized plane. Yeah, that was Honda paid for that one. They asked me if I wanted to drive there or if I wanted to fly there, and I was like, "Fuck it,
You going?
I'll fly."
Were you going for training or something?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or actually, no, that wasn't Honda. That was Mr. O'Neill that paid for that one. Because it was tire training.
Tire
Tire
training.
but-
Have you ever been on a helicopter or in a helicopter?
Yeah.
I've never done that.
Couple. Justin's been on one before
Yeah. You can.
when we were
There's,
little.
well, down in Branson, you can ride a helicopter.
Oh yeah, you've been on one when you were older?
Yeah. Well, I remember going on one when I was young, like in Branson.
Yeah, I've been on one.
It's a
when
different
I-
experience for sure. You're a lot lower to the ground, and you can like see stuff.
You can see a lot more. Yeah, it's cool.
Is it like, to me it wouldn't be a smooth ride, I imagine. Like, to me it'd be
No,
more
I feel like it's pretty smooth.
Yeah, I think it's probably smoother than an airplane because you don't get turbulence. You're not high enough to experience that.
okay.
Like you're just changing directions. Like I would consider it to like a roller coaster, but it's not. It doesn't feel jerky.
Yeah.
Like you're just gliding. Like that's what it feels like.
Huh. And you got to put the things on to hear each other?
No, I don't remember putting a headset on
No.
when I was in one of those things.
Huh. Yeah.
The ones in Branson that you ride are like all glass, and like you're just like hanging over, looking at the ground, and
Not me.
flying over just land and shit and looking at stuff. It's pretty fun.
I feel like I'm afraid of heights, so you get me in one of those, and I don't think I'd like it too much.
Oh, I don't like heights either, but I feel like I don't know. You feel safe compared to like some of the stuff.
Yeah, it's
Okay.
not scary.
Heights.
Well,
I remember that. Like I was wondering if it would feel like on a roller coaster where your stomach
hmm
feels like light. Like I was wondering if it would feel like that, but it never feels like that on a air or a helicopter. Like it always feels stable.
it must have been a good pilot, I guess. I don't know. Like it just seems like a helicopter is more complicated. Would you ever
Well, I think like
skydive?
Justin said, you're not that high in the air. Like you're not dealing with all those high winds up there, so it's not as bad.
Yeah, that's true.
No, I don't think I'd ever skydive. If I could pack my
I
own
would.
bag, if I could pack my own bag, okay, maybe I might skydive.
You won't ever go skydiving?
Uh, I mean, you got some stranger packing your bag. You're gonna jump out and hope that he packed that thing right. When you rip the cord, it opens up, and you don't smack
I
the
mean,
ground.
you get two bags though. You got a safety bag,
Right.
and the
But it's
first
not
like the first I think 6 times that you go, it's somebody else that's there. You're attached to somebody else.
okay. Maybe if I was attached to somebody else, because then I know they packed that thing. They're not gonna smack the ground.
Yeah.
I don't even think I'd go then. Like, I don't want to fall. I think I'd have a heart attack mid fall. Like I'd just be freaking out the whole time.
Falling's I mean I have dreams all the time of falling and then waking up and you're like, oh, right before you
Yeah.
smack the ground, you know?
Yeah, it'd be like that, except for you don't get to wake up. You're just still
Right.
like just
Heights
still
don't
falling.
really scare me.
Like I'd be freaking out until the parachute was pulled. Once that happened, then I'd be like, okay, we're gonna make it. But up until
I
that
feel
point,
like I'd enjoy it until the parachute was pulled.
I don't know. Not unless the world was like in a much shittier place where I'm like, I'm cool with it not working out if it doesn't, you know.
Well, just flying through the air that fast, that would be exhilarating, man.
Ugh.
Yeah, you're gonna fall at terminal velocity, which is like it's 100 and something. I think. I don't
4
know
kilometers.
the exact,
Yeah.
but yeah, you're hauling ass till you smack the ground.
How fast is terminal velocity?
I think it's 124 kilometers an hour, maybe miles per hour.
Do they call it terminal velocity because you're gonna die? Like,
No, that's
Free
just
fall velocity. Just look up free fall velocity.
you drop anything, it doesn't matter how heavy it
Yeah,
is, it falls
drops
at
at the-
terminal velocity.
At a
Okay.
certain point, it's all going the same speed.
You
right,
can drop a feather, you can drop a human being, it's gonna fall at the same speed.
right. Yeah, that's 120 miles per hour.
120 miles per hour.
Now, how long it takes to reach terminal velocity, that may vary depending on.
I don't think it takes that long, actually, for a human. Anyways, I think it takes a different period of time depending on the size of the object.
For
Yeah.
falling?
If I remember. Huh?
For falling?
Yeah, let's say you drop a feather and you drop a human
Typical
being.
max speed.
They'll
Oh,
eventually reach terminal velocity, but one may take a lot longer to get there.
But that's with like zero other factors, right? That's like in a vacuum, basically.
Mm,
Well, think about it.
Well, I mean,
Think about it.
I could see wind if it was very windy. I could see that having a factor into it, but that's about it.
Well, just any amount of like of fucking anything, like in the air, like any amount of air. You know, you jump out of a plane with a feather, you let it go. That thing's gonna do this the whole way down. It's
right.
at no point is it gonna stop doing this and go like that. But the whole time you're gonna be doing that. So
Right, but that's
Well,
because hold on. Do you understand why a feather floats?
why it floats?
Yeah, why it doesn't fall straight down?
Because of the like other things in the atmosphere besides gravity, right?
Because the feather spine itself is hollow, and then the pines off of it, which are the parts of the feather, they hold more weight than what the feather weighs itself.
How does that how does that work?
What do you
so
mean? How does it work?
How does
so when
go
you're
on,
looking
just
up terminal velocity, does it say you have to be in a vacuum?
No. So the the feather.
Because I can see a feather.
so it
Having a
actually
hard.
Catches more weight than it weighs.
what it says is terminal velocity cannot occur in a vacuum because it requires a resisting force like air to create the balance that defines terminal velocity.
Okay, so you don't.
The feather can catch more air to lift itself up than what it weighs.
Right. Yeah, I get what you're saying. Like
Oh,
it.
okay, now I understand what you're saying. The way you said it before, you said that the feather bits had held more weight than the feather weight itself, and I was like, how can?
Yeah, that's what it is. But
But the way it sounded to me was that you were saying that parts of the feather were heavier than the feather, and I'm like, but the whole thing is the feather. Like, that's where I was getting confused.
no, they support more weight than what the feather weighs, and it catches more weight than what the feather weighs.
Right, that makes sense. I get you there. But yeah, I don't. Sorry, that was my confusion.
It's a
So
very hard concept to grasp. I mean, it's
yeah,
weird.
flight is very confusing. I don't even understand how airplanes fly.
It's like absolute zero and breaking the sound barrier. That shit is hard to comprehend.
It just
Yeah.
it I have a hard time like grasping that there's these craft that have propellers on the front of them. And they just take off from the ground and go flying through the air. You know, does that not sound wild to you?
It's strange.
Like that doesn't make any logical sense.
Well,
That
it's the same
thing
thing
looks
with
like
the boat. I mean, like, dude, you can get a boat and pack a whole bunch of shit on top of it, and that thing won't
right.
sink
Yeah.
Well, that's
unless as long as it's got
you got to
I don't
have
know
air
what the law
pockets.
is. Yeah, like it won't sink. You can stack and stack a whole bunch of shit on that thing, and it will float.
Yeah,
And
but
it
that's not as confusing to me as an airplane is.
like
Airplanes are way more confusing, in my opinion.
yeah, I agree, but to me it is it's equally amazing that you can have this giant thing made of metal, which by itself
Alright.
should sink.
Oh my God.
What?
Hold on. That kind of lit up a light bulb. So you know why it's different? Why I if it is different, how they tell us it's different is so the further you get deeper into the ocean, right? The more dense the water is, the more pressure there is.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
So that's going to keep you from getting down there.
Because you're less dense, so you would just sit on top, right?
Right. So what if it's the opposite, the other way?
You got to be more dense to go high.
Yeah.
No, to go high.
Or not so much like that, but it's kind of the same.
I
Kind of
don't
the
think, I don't
same.
think it is.
There's a lot of things you gotta defeat gravity, and then you got to keep yourself up in the air. And
Maybe once you get to a certain point, you got to be more dense than the rest of the atmosphere to make it any further. I don't know. Scrap that idea.
I was gonna
That's
say.
kind of started.
I find absolute zero crazy because so absolute zero is when like atoms and molecules stop moving. Has anybody have you ever thought about that?
Like the freezing point?
Yes, absolute zero. Like nobody knows what happens when that happens. Like what do you think happens? Because we've
Well,
never
no.
reached I don't know how we
We
can
know
know.
that happens.
I don't know how we can know if we've never reached it. That's
Well,
what I
I'm sure
find crazy.
they've
Huh?
reached a lot of things that they haven't told us about.
So my theory is if you're stopping all the molecules and all the atoms, then you're stopping time. Like
Yeah, that would be my opinion as well.
because nothing's moving.
Yeah.
So if you
If
were
the cells aren't moving, they're completely still. Everything is still. Then it doesn't age and it doesn't
Right,
get
but
younger.
can you bring somebody back to life? I don't think
I
you
would assume
could.
so.
It would be very hard.
to me, it
I
would
don't think
depend
so.
on like how quickly you got to absolute zero and how quickly you came back out of it. Because to me,
Yeah, I
you'd
think
want to
that's
go,
what would happen.
yeah, like in the freezing process, you'd
have
want
to-
it to be immediate.
It would have to be a yeah millisecond, like the action itself would have to be probably at the speed of light. The freezing action.
Yeah.
And but how do you heat somebody back up that quickly? Like that's a lot of energy.
Yeah.
Like
To
what?
a normal temperature to where
Right.
be fucking crisp.
Absolute zero is like negative 400 and something. Look it up. It's crazy.
Absolute zero is the equivalent to in Fahrenheit, 400 negative 459.67 degrees Fahrenheit.
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
That's
honestly, though, absolute zero is that's telling you the point at which no molecules move in the elements that we know of.
well, yeah. I mean, humans don't know everything.
Yeah.
How is space not absolute zero?
Isn't even a number, really. Like, it could not even be a real number. Because they didn't even know of element 115 until probably like 15 years ago.
What's element
Right.
115?
I forget what it's called. Look up Bob Lazar element 115.
That is Muscovium.
No.
Element 115 is called Muscovium.
No. Look up Bob Lazar element 115.
So that came up with like Reddit pages that didn't really count. Well, let me see what this says. So it is, that also comes up with Muscovium,
Okay, maybe it's Muscovium.
an alien element mentioned by Bob Lazar over a decade ago. But
Maybe that's the new for it.
yeah, this is kind of like a. It doesn't really say much. It says something about possibly used to help spacecrafts move or something.
Yeah, it's supposedly what they use to propel their aircraft.
Aircraft. So, which
You guys know
supposedly.
much about Bob Lazar?
Yeah, well, I don't know. I know what he looks at, or like what his life is about, what he's spent his whole life doing, you know.
I mean, he's still alive.
Yeah, he's 65.
And he lives in Florida.
He went to Pierce College. But that's all it says right here.
I mean, they put a name to it. How did they put a name to it if it's not real?
Well, no, it wasn't real at that time when he disclosed it. Like, people said that he was full of shit when he said that he worked for Area 51 and knew he was given all these details about spacecraft, and he said that they were powered by this element, and this element didn't exist at the time.
Right, which supposedly, what I've heard is that we've like, or not us, but like our government has reverse engineered this shit and learned how to build it now.
Yeah, they've known that for a very long time.
Yeah.
Yeah. Since probably the 60s, at least, from my research.
But when did we start recognizing it as an actual element?
Oh, society didn't actually acknowledge that as an element till about probably 10 to 15 years ago.
So is it on the periodic table now, or are they just?
Yeah, it is now.
Oh,
He came out about this in '89, which was the year I was born.
I'm sure that, dude. There's so much shit. I mean, we could go down a rabbit hole.
So I could take you down a bunch of rabbit holes.
Like, the government is not in anybody's best interest,
No.
and they shit
No
that goes
government.
behind closed doors. We couldn't even fathom. I'm sure. And there's people out there that know it. Don't get me wrong. Like, if I worked at Area 51 and
No, I don't think they really know it.
or got fired, I'd be the first one to tell.
Compartmentalized. Like, they get very little, they get specific details about what they're dealing with, and that is it. And these people take these jobs because, like, that's a one in a lifetime opportunity.
Right. Yeah, the guy that
Like,
I've heard.
Same thing.
Yeah, the guy that I've heard about, he said that he went in and he would be given like a tablet, and it would tell him like what he was supposed to be doing. It wouldn't like he had to go in and like do an autopsy on something. And
I know what you're talking about.
You do?
Yeah.
Yeah, he would have to do an autopsy on something, but it would only
slur a little bit, I think.
Yeah, it was like very vague what it telling him what it was. So he would go in there, and like the first one he did, it was some kind of like an arm or a leg or something like that, and it didn't look human. So we
You
did
could tell it
the
wasn't like flesh from like this world, like not normal stuff that you see.
right, and so he did the autopsy on it or whatever, and then come to find out that was just a test. That wasn't even a real thing. But they just wanted to test him to see if they could trust him, and then they actually had him working on like real alien bodies. But
Yeah,
he only knew about that specific thing. He didn't know like where they came from, what type of thing it was. Like it was very his knowledge was super limited, and he could only know like one part of a big picture.
he also had to work on like creatures that were like huge.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he said. Yeah, he did mention that, but he said they were all they all fit in the like the one head, two arms,
Humanoid.
two
Yeah,
legs.
One head, two arm.
Yeah, one arm, two legs.
yeah, built at the same model that we are, basically.
So, okay, I got a question for you guys, and this may be off topic, but all right, let's say aliens come to this planet, and we're human. All right, what are we gonna do? What is the nature of a human being?
Attack. That's the nature of a human, but we would fucking attack it unless
No, we wouldn't attack. We would be amazed. We would be too scared to attack.
I think our dumbasses would attack unless they reached out to
See,
the heads of
so
governments first.
you think Josh thinks that we won't attack, and you think that we'll attack?
If they just
See,
showed up, no warning. Yeah.
Yes, no warning. Like, I think that we're pretty primitive creatures, and we fight over resources here against our own flesh and blood. I think we would just fucking we wouldn't show them no mercy. That's my
Right. But I think aliens, being as smart as they are, I don't think they would show up that way. I think they would, in some
Yeah.
way or another, they would reach out to the heads of all planet or all countries and be like, "Hey, we're friendly, we're gonna show up," and so that there wouldn't be a conflict.
well. How do you communicate with somebody that you can't talk to? Like they don't speak the same language we do.
I'm
How do
sure.
you? How did two species that can't talk show peace?
You haven't done a lot of research into it, like abductees or anything like that, have you?
Who are you?
Yes.
Ask. Okay.
Not really. No.
Yeah. I mean, based off of probably like 75% of alien abductees' experiences,
Telepathic.
they're not being talked to mouth, like mouth to ear. Like it's brain to brain. And some people have described it as actually hearing words, like hearing them speak to them in their head. And some people describe it as not like seeing, like they show them things in their mind's eye, if that makes sense.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I don't think.
So Hollywood doesn't portray it as that they're as stupid as what they are. They're not going knock 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 knock.
Yeah. I mean, actually, I'll hold off because I can go into tangents and I'll save some of this for another podcast.
That were you thinking of the movie Aliens, like by Tim Burton?
No,
Aliens
Mars
Attack.
Attacks.
Mars Attacks. Yeah, that's what I was thinking of. Yeah.
They shoot the doves. They release the doves, and then they're like bang bang. They shoot the doves.
Now, what do you think? So that's what we just talked about. That's if they're friendly. What if they're not friendly? What do you think they would do, showing up wise? How do you think that would go?
I mean, if
they
they're
weren't
here,
friendly, we wouldn't even know that they were here.
Yeah, wiped clean.
Right. they could wipe
We'd
us.
be dead.
Yeah. And they'd be here for resources. And I feel like if they're that smart, they could find resources. They don't need Earth to find. I mean, there's so many planets out there. Like,
Hmm.
they probably have a better way of finding resources than we do. We're so primitive. Like,
They probably can create resources. And they don't even have farming isn't a thing for them anymore. They can literally they have matter and they can make it into whatever they need it to be.
yeah, I agree.
But yeah, that's my thoughts on that. Do we want to hop on to the next topic here?
Sure. We went probably overboard on that one.
That's fine. I mean, we have a goal
I
of
mean,
2
we kind
hours,
of went
but
from one thing to another.
yeah,
So
inauguration coming
the
up.
certification is tomorrow. Not tomorrow, but the day after tomorrow.
Yeah, the 6th.
Yeah.
What is
for
that? The certificate. So it's just them being like,
the
just being like,
presidential certification.
yeah, it's just them
Well,
being
he's
like,
he's
yep.
officially president. You know, like,
Yeah, that's when the House and Senate officially recognize him as president, and then on the 20th we got the inauguration, and then recently we've had quite a bit of excitement here around the first.
right.
Yeah.
Just
Even before that, but
yeah. I mean, who wants to kind of go into that? Who wants to tackle that one?
so we've never had a president that has been attacked as frequent as this one. You know, it kind of makes you wonder. You know, like, but why? Why this guy? Are we just that fucked up Americans, or there's something else going on? You know, like,
Yeah. So when you say
why
it's
does everybody hate this man so much? To my opinion, I don't. To me, he's not that bad of a guy, you know. But
I mean, he's definitely not what they portray him to be as.
definitely, yeah, no,
He's not a perfect man. Nobody is.
yeah, we're all human beings. Nobody's perfect.
Yeah. And I'm not saying he's going to save the world or anything either, but he's going to stop a lot of bad stuff from our country enables and is involved with a lot of bad stuff.
like what?
I don't disagree.
He's going to stop that.
We let a whole bunch of immigrants over here that we don't know who the fuck they are just fucking come over here, you know, and
Come over here,
there's a
they
whole
get
bunch.
money.
Yeah, they get free money. I mean, that's beside the point. We shouldn't even let them over here. I mean, that's bad enough we let them over here and then we give them fucking money. That's like, what the fuck are we doing?
Yeah, they don't have to pay taxes in the first place, and then they're taking our tax dollars,
Right. And then you just
our American citizens that are struggling in North Carolina from the hurricane. Some of them are still living in tents. Like, what the fuck?
Well, what's the big agenda? What do you think that, like, the big reason, like, we would fuck over our own and let somebody else come in and pay them? Like, why do you think they're doing that?
I mean,
don't
it's pretty obvious in my opinion.
I don't think that anybody, like, I think it's like another power is trying to kill him. I don't think
Yeah,
that like
it's not
some
one person.
Americans
It's
are
not
trying to kill him.
one. Yeah, it's
It's
not
it's
one person
another
that's calling
entity
the
in
shots.
America.
Yeah.
Justin's 100% right.
Well, I
It's
barely heard what he said. What did he
it's
say?
not Joe Biden calling these shots.
Right. There's some higher power, higher than government, that is trying to kill him, that because he's
He'll
going to make changes to better the American society. And the American society is always, like pro, the Bible, like we're just very, like fucking common sense. I hate to say that it's common sense, but like a lot of
It
people
is.
don't think that it's common sense, and it is. And I don't know. I just feel like it's evil. Evil is trying to fucking make its way, and it has many times into America, and it's really prominent in America. And Trump is a piece of light, and they're trying to stomp it out, no matter how hard they try. I don't think it's going to happen because he's got God on his side. He's been attacked several times. It's not gonna happen.
when you when you say attack, do you mean like the assassination attempt, or do you mean like just like the news shitting on him all the time and shit like
All,
that?
like all of it. Like that's just like evil works in many ways. Like if we can manipulate the news to get people not to like him, or we can like try and assassinate him. Like evil's evils. Like it doesn't. It
Matter
takes
what
all
form.
form.
Right.
Yeah. It just whatever's the most efficient at taking him out. Like that's evil.
So reference
And,
the book.
and Trump is not the most holiest man. Don't get me wrong. Like he's done a lot of shit wrong, but like he's more on the righteous side than he is on the evil side. And
Yeah. But what you're talking about, getting attacked from different angles, the Book of Job, man. Do you guys know the Book of Job?
no,
I
I've
mean,
never.
So
if you
basically,
I mean, if you use evil, you're gonna attack from every possible angle you can do.
right. But so the Book of Job, Job is the richest man in the world, one of the most richest man in the world, and he's one of the greatest supporters of God. And Satan meets with God one day, and he says, like God's bragging about how his people love him and everything, and Satan goes, "Well, turn Job against you, or let me uh, let me curse Job." That's what it was, and you can't do anything about it, and see if he still worships you like he does. And God says that's okay, and then uh, his farm gets attacked, his children get killed, like a bunch of shit happens to him all at once. I'm like, it's one. Back then, they like traveled by horse, so there's one messenger after another showing up at his house, telling him that all this shit's happening, and then he ends up like losing like a bunch of his money, gets boils on his skin, and all this shit happens to him, but he keeps praising God.
Yeah,
And
like I feel like that's Trump. Dude, he's
yeah,
been attacked constantly. Shit not gone his way. He gets prosecuted all the time, but he still prevails, man. Like he's still
he's
freaking
been doing pretty good lately.
hasn't got corrupted, you know, like
Yeah, he's had plenty of opportunity to be a very bad person in life. I would put him on the good character of people. I think he's a good person.
yeah, he may not steer, you know,
I mean, we've
100%.
all made bad decisions in our lives.
Nobody is going to. We're human beings. I mean, we all sin. That's why we're on this earth to get saved. But a lot of us are, you know, not as crooked as the others. You know, I mean, like
Yeah.
we still
Some
believe
people
we
don't.
still go to
Some
church.
people don't have a backbone at all. They won't stand up for nothing.
Right. I mean, some people will like, you know, that's the whole thing of repenting. You know, repenting like, oh, you did something wrong and you know it's wrong, but yet you continue to do it, and then you go to church and you do your Hail Marys and you're okay. Well, no, and then you go do it again. No, you didn't. You're not sorry. You didn't learn a thing.
Yeah, you didn't learn.
That's what God wants. He just, you know, he wants you to know that you're in the wrong and that you're sorry, and you don't do it again. I mean, we're children. That's what we are. We're all children.
Yeah,
I mean,
that's exactly how you got to look at it, though.
he's the adult, the father, and I mean, no kid
Like,
unless you have kids. You know, you'll better understand, but I don't want my kid to go do fucking bad shit all the time and continue to do it. You know, it's like there's going to be punishment.
Right.
yeah, I've always felt like I was like one of the smartest people around, and like I feel like that was my biggest problem with trying to believe in God for the longest time because I felt like I knew better.
Right. Well, that's just
And then like
that's
I
that's the evil talk. You know, like Adam and
yeah,
Eve.
I've broken myself down and I can look at it from another perspective and I'm like, holy shit, I can't even begin to understand why the world is the way it is.
Yeah, other than like destiny, like it's supposed to go this way, you know.
I
But
mean,
Dude.
and that there's so many things that have happened in my life that like I could have been dead by now and I'm still alive.
Right. It's like the only reason I'm alive is because somebody kept me here. I'm not because I'm too stupid. Like I would
Yeah, I
have
wasn't making the right decisions to get here.
right.
Yeah, someone kept me alive to get this long.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's the screwed up part about it is like somebody kept you, so God kept you alive here to continue, but you don't know your purpose. Like I don't know my purpose. Like fuck.
I mean, not 100%, but I know
Right.
that motherfucker's talking to me.
Right. And I know I'm not gonna go do the same shit that I did.
Yeah,
Like
exactly. Exactly. We were meant to keep going for a while longer, I guess.
But I wonder what the reason is, though. Like, what's
That's
the
the thing. That's
climax?
how I realized I wasn't smart. Like I'm never gonna understand the reason.
yeah,
Yeah.
I don't think you'll know.
Even after I die and go to heaven or hell, I probably still won't know the reason.
Yeah, I don't think you'll know till you're dead, and then God's like, you know, like, oh, I kept you alive, or I kept you for this reason, and then he'll give you a
Even
flashback.
then, so,
But
like, I don't know.
sometimes you helped somebody or did something good for somebody that changed their life, and and it was a test in that moment. Like, oh, you either help this person, or you send him down the wrong path. And that's how you're going to be judged, in my opinion. It's
Have
like you
you
either
had
did
those
the right
times in
thing.
your life? Like
Uh,
times in your life that are like that?
yeah, I've had
You feel
several.
like you're going to be judged upon?
I, I feel like I I'm not. I don't. I've always tried to help people. I feel like
Right, but
like we're all human. I've done
do you
some bad things in my life, but I've never hurt a human being. I feel you know, like I always try and help them out. Like their car breaks down or something. Yeah, I'll come over there. I'll help you get it running. You don't owe me any money. Like, or I'll give you some encouraging words or some shit, but I don't ever try and degrade anybody, like, because I,
yeah,
I, I was picked on when I was really young, and I know what it feels like, and
yeah, I
it's
remember you were a victim.
it's not good, dude.
So do you
But whether I did the right thing, I don't know till I get, oh,
Right.
the
right, but
time.
do you feel like you remember like moments in your life where you were like there were two decisions you had, and one was a bad decision, but it was easier for you, and then there was a good decision. It was going to be a tougher like fight for you to go through, and
Uh,
you had to make that decision.
I don't know. Like, I feel like the times that I had to act quickly, I act on emotion, and those were never good decisions. Like,
Yeah,
but if I had time to think about it, I feel like I made the right choice. But if I was in anger, like, like somebody made me angry, my emotions took over, and I never took the right decision. You know.
Mhm.
yeah, I had a really bad temper problem for a long time.
But I feel like that's the human condition. That's like, I
Yeah.
don't know.
What about you, Ethan? Let's get some of your action. What you got?
Not a lot, really. Like I just kind of agree. Like there's definitely been times in my life where I've had like where I don't think I knew I had multiple choices in the outcome, but looking back on it, I'd be like, damn, like that was not the right thing to do. And those kind of like, and so those I think about like quite a bit, and it helps me make decisions moving forward. But that's really, I mean, that's the biggest thing in my opinion is looking the things that like keep me up at night. The next time I have a decision to make, I'm gonna try to make a better decision the next time. You know.
Yeah.
And so the fact that you're looking at them, and you made a bad decision, and repeat that bad decision is
That's
like,
more than any, that's what it's about, really.
yeah, that's what God is looking at. He don't like if you're gonna, like, you made this bad decision and you're gonna do it again, you don't know repercussions, you don't care. I feel like that is more important than any, because that's what he cares about.
He wants you to confess that, yeah, you fucked up and make it right by not doing it again, for sure.
Right.
Yeah, that's what repenting is, you know. Quit, don't push that. Hey, go get me a charger, a cable.
I mean, one specific point in my life was that car wreck I got in,
Mm.
and that dude was like, "Dude, just run, run." And I was like, "No, because there was that truck flipped over in the middle of the highway. It was pretty fucked up. It was bad, and it worked out good for me.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you would,
I feel like the only reason it worked out good for me is because I did the right thing in that moment.
Right. Yeah, I know I'm like the worst decisions I make are typically if I've been like if I'm drunk. And that's like I hate alcohol for that reason.
I gotta take a leak. I'll be right back.
Yeah, I also have to
Yeah.
use the restroom. Should we take like a little BRB moment here?
Closet.
Okay, yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Sounds good.
All right, and we are back. We have a comment here from Elizabeth saying, Hey Josh, what would happen if Eve did not eat the fruit? Would the earth be happy and good, or would Satan still make the world bad?
I believe that Satan would still probably corrupt the world one way or another.
Yeah, he would find some way.
Yeah.
I wonder what
He's the master of deceit.
do you
Yes.
think do you think he would have still used Eve to do it, or do you think he would have tried to get Adam to do it?
More than likely, he tried to use Eve.
Yeah.
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 He would have continued to try to use Eve, I think. Men have a soft spot for women.
Some of
Correct.
some men.
I feel like that women are more easily persuaded. I don't. I mean,
Yeah.
that kind
Well, let's
people
not
say
go there.
that's sexist, but I feel like they're more easily persuaded than men.
Yeah.
That's why they weren't allowed to vote for a long time.
We are gonna
No
get canceled
shit, though, but
today.
did you know that they allowed in America, black men were allowed to vote before white women?
Right. And what then black people, they were considered only like what, 2/3 of a person or something like that?
Yeah, so that tells you what.
What they thought of women.
Yeah. I mean, women do it to themselves, though.
I am not
I
talking any more
agree.
about
I
this.
agree. They're entirely too emotional. They react on emotion way too quickly and way too easily.
Yeah, this is probably too much for a beginning podcast, though.
Yeah,
Yeah.
this is a if this wants to be our last episode, we can keep talking about it.
Yeah.
We
I
got
don't wanna, you're gonna make me go off.
we got another comment here that says, "What if God did not make Adam and Eve?"
I
Which
mean,
I
God,
He, I mean, to my knowledge, he didn't make just Adam and Eve.
yeah, he made the earth, the trees, he made everything, all the plants and the animals. The only reason Eve was made was because, Adam was lonely, you know.
Well, there's
He,
also other books uh, that were written before the Bible that talk about other beings, the Elohim.
were they humanoid or like humans?
I mean, it's been a while since I've really looked into it, but I know they were described. One was described as like a
You said it was Elohim?
Elohim. There, there was another. The Nephilim, of course, is. I'm sure you both know what the Nephilim is, right?
Right.
I do, yeah. Because
Yeah.
of Diablo. You remember Diablo? I'm like, and then I start reading the Bible. I'm like, holy shit! Like this shit's in the Bible. It came
I mean,
from
I
the
think
Bible.
like people try to narrow it down to like giants are the Nephilim, Nephilim are giants, like that's what it is. But I don't think that's exactly what it is.
No,
Like
it's like
these beings can take different stature, sizes. Some of them may be small and have like superpowers,
it's the children of angels sleeping with
Yeah.
beings.
The children of
Greek
angels or angels themselves?
No, angels slept with human beings.
They were
Made. Okay.
they were the sons of the fallen angels.
Right.
Yeah.
And you think they, so you think like a person and an angel made a Nephilim, but you think they could take different forms?
Yeah.
You don't. Yeah, you don't know what they're.
So some of them popped out as giants, some of them popped out as something else, you think?
No, like some of them had like, you know, could do special shit. Like they all had their own traits. Like
Probably
So like
depending on
Green
the
Guy.
angel.
Exactly.
Like one angel,
You know, do you remember those those kids superhero movies where they were like they would go to the like school to be trained to be superheroes or whatever? Like their parents had superhero powers.
yeah,
Yeah, like that. Like basically the same concept, you know?
okay, that makes sense. Because at first I was thinking like, there's no way it's random. You know, there's no way that an angel and a person can have multiple babies and they come out different things. But if it's, you know, this angel has this certain power, has a kid, makes giants, a separate angel has kids, makes, you know, mermaids or whatever the fuck.
We'll say, yeah, say one angel is like super strong and its kids come out as giants. One angel can fly all over the place. Its kids have wings.
Yeah, makes a bunch of like
Fucking
vampires or something.
yeah. Another one can swim through the ocean and its kids have fucking fins and gills.
Yeah.
yeah. So okay, Ethan, Satan. What is Satan? Do you know who Satan is?
Do I know who he is?
Yes.
He's a fallen. Well, he's an angel that was cast from heaven. He
Yeah.
he
Angel.
yeah. His ability was like he was the best singer, the best looking, and he thought he was like top shit. And so he tried to get a bunch of people to follow him instead of God, and God was like, ah. And so
Well, God made him the head angel, and he got cocky. He got an ego because God made human beings.
he gave us free will.
Yeah, and he was like, well, fuck those
So
God was all like infatuated with us, and he was like, fuck those motherfuckers. I'm
so
better than them.
so free will. Free will was not. We got free will from Satan. That's my opinion.
No.
Yeah. Like
No.
we didn't know right from wrong. We didn't know fucking
Well, yeah, we didn't.
being
I understand what you mean by that, I guess, now that you said it that way. But that's not correct.
Go
Satan
on.
is the one that gave us all that shit and fucked our
We
heads up.
didn't know any better beforehand.
Yes.
Before the knowledge.
No, supposedly. But I mean, in my opinion, I think a lot of that shit is metaphorical.
I'm saying.
Those stories back then, and I don't think it's word for word. I mean, my opinion. We could do a whole podcast on my opinion, probably.
Just on that
Save that
subject.
story.
Right.
So it was on the car bombing. Are we going to do the car bombing?
Yeah, we can switch over to that. Which that I don't. I mean, other than it's a Tesla and it was at a Trump Tower, blew up. At first they couldn't figure out if the Tesla just like blew up, or if it was actually like a bomb. But that's all I really know about it.
Justin, you know any more?
So here, I know that the guy was a Green Beret. He was an American citizen, and I seen his the reason why he did it. And it doesn't make
The
sense.
messages they supposedly found.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The messages.
Yeah.
Okay.
Supposedly, he said this is not a terrorist attack. This is a wake-up
Wake
call.
up call. That
or
fans only listen to violence, and
This
we're
might get their attention.
yeah, and this might get your attention. He said he was worried about drones or some shit. I don't.
No, he doesn't say anything about drones in those messages that they've released. But
He doesn't
But-
actually say anything that like, oh, what is actually wrong. Like he just like,
yeah,
oh,
his
to
the
wake up.
messages they released don't make any sense.
Yeah,
I just think it's odd that they did it with a Tesla truck, which only not very many of those were sold. So how did he get his hands on one of those?
it was a Toro. He rented it. It wasn't. He didn't own it.
A Toro. What's a Toro?
Sure.
Like you rent a car.
Yeah,
Oh.
it's like Uber, but car rental service.
And you can just rent Cybertrucks?
Somebody else's car, yeah.
Okay. So I think it's weird that he did that, and then I think it's weird that he blew it up at a Trump thing. Like, to me, it seems very political.
Right.
Yeah, it seems planted. Very
Yeah.
planted.
I don't, if you're a Green Beret, I don't care who you are. You're not gonna go try and blow up Trump if you're a Green
Okay,
Beret.
so
The military
um
ain't gonna happen.
couple things. Tim, do you guys know who Tim?
Tim Kennedy is.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
you saw that?
yeah. I did.
How weird is that?
Yeah, I mean that raises a lot of red flags. He knew the guy, kinda, and he's like, "Hey, this is off."
Yeah, well, why they were on like that guy is on TV all the time,
Right,
and then he's on TV with this guy too.
right.
I'm
Oh.
not saying Tim Kennedy's a bad guy. I don't know much about Tim Kennedy at all, but I've listened to some of his podcasts. He's very interesting. But
So is this how it connects to
it's
the
very
Las Vegas? Is this how it connects to the Las Vegas thing?
Yes, this okay, so on the History Channel, they did some kind of competition, like extreme competition with shooting guns and physical fitness, I think. And these two green berets won the competition, and it was Tim Kennedy and this guy that blew himself up. But okay, here's another weird thing. So they've released that he shot himself in the head
Right,
before the truck blew up.
right, and he had a Magnum, a desert.
Desert-
Like
Yeah.
if you shoot yourself in the head, I don't feel like you'd use a Desert Eagle.
Unless you're not wanting your face to be around.
Right.
Just maybe you just wanted to be extra sure that he wouldn't miss.
And I don't think a Green Beret is dumb enough. Like if he really wants to hurt Trump,
Yeah, if you wanted to send a message, I feel like he would have sent a bigger message than that.
like he wouldn't have used a Cybertruck and his terrible explosion with fireworks. He made a thing in his comment about fireworks.
He-
Like that is a big red flag. No Green Beret is going to talk about fireworks.
Yeah.
So where's the fireworks come from? Where'd that happen?
Well, if you
Some
watch
of
the
the explosives in his car were fireworks.
yeah, he put fireworks in with his explosion, so it'd have like a
A pretty boom?
life worth feel.
Were they like mortars, like the kind, or
That I'm not sure of.
like was it like bottle rockets?
I mean, Green Berets are like trained killers, and if they want to come after you, they ain't gonna use a Cybertruck and like blow it in
Yeah,
front of your
I
hotel.
think somebody killed his ass, put him in that truck. They remote controlled that truck up there and blew it up.
Hmm.
It don't add up.
Yeah,
Add
the
up.
story we got don't add up.
Something else that I heard was that Elon Musk is going, or like is working with the detectives or whatever, and has like video surveillance of him putting gas, or not putting gas, but like charging the truck up. And I think
Yeah, I've seen all those.
you've seen that.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
still doesn't do it for me.
So you think he was like targeted?
Yeah, I think he was like somebody told him something he didn't want to do, and he had to do it to save his like family or children or.
And he
I don't
backed
think
out, and they probably killed him and
Yeah, I don't think
did a patsy.
American Green Beret would go and blow themselves up. And if they really wanted to blow somebody up,
They would have done it.
right?
Yeah, they would have fucking blew that building up.
Yeah, they would have done it, and they would have succeeded.
Green Beret is like the top of the top.
But so how does it connect to ISIS?
I don't know if
it doesn't
I think
necessarily.
it connects to our. I think it connects to our government. I don't think it connects to ISIS.
Yeah.
Which ISIS is connected to our government.
Hmm.
We're gonna get kicked off YouTube.
I mean,
no, I'm dead serious. I didn't even think about this till just now.
We're still live. I mean,
yeah, but no, we're gonna get our channel's not gonna make it. Trust me.
we're not talking about anything that like Joe Rogan talks about shit.
We're right, but I just got a feeling.
Well,
we went a little too far there.
We're just, I mean, discussing. We haven't. All we're saying is it's weird. You know, we think it's weird.
Our opinion, folks. It's our opinion.
This is all for entertainment purposes.
Here's the screwed up thing: is we'll never know what really happened.
Yeah,
we will never know.
And what's even more fucked up is something else is already like something else is going to happen. Like shit's just going to keep happening.
There's something already else in the works right now.
Yeah.
Give it a couple months. Yeah.
And what if it like, you know, what if this was just to like distract us from something else?
Correct.
Usually is.
Yeah, get us to look at this while they're doing something over here, you know?
It's usually how it works.
But what I don't get about that is like, what could they be doing that they need us to look in a different direction for? Like what, like, are you telling me that like just the average day, whatever they're doing, we would notice? Because people don't notice shit.
Stopped talking about the drones, didn't they?
Well, yeah, but like, I initially thought the drones was a distraction from something else. Like, are we distracting ourselves from a prior distraction?
I'm not gonna lie. I saw a weird light in the sky probably 3-4 nights ago. Mm-hmm. And then on Thursday, before I left work, there was a weird little, like, bright light. It wasn't dark out yet. Like, it was still light outside. But it was, whatever it was reflecting a lot of light off of it. And it wasn't there for very long.
How did it leave?
I don't know. Like, I was at work and I was pulling a car up to park it in the parking lot, and I saw it as I was turning around the building. So I was kind of trying to keep an eye on it as I was parking the car. And then by the time I got done parking the car, got out of the car and walked out of the car and looked up, it was gone. And that's how I know it wasn't a plane. Because that's at first what I thought maybe it was, just a plane that I wasn't seeing very well. But then when it was completely gone, like there was no trace of it, I knew it wasn't a plane.
Yeah.
And it was the reflection off it was too bright to be a plane, in my opinion, in the first place. But I always try to normalize it, you know.
If it's okay, What do you think it was reflecting that could be that bright?
Should have been some kind of like bright, shiny metallic surface
Right, but
that would
like,
have been reflecting sunlight.
right. So if well, that's what I'm saying. Like, if it's up in the sky, the sun's up higher than it. It's not going to reflect the sun downwards. So what's down here
Well,
that
no,
it's
this is at
reflecting?
like probably 3 o'clock in the afternoon. So the sun's like in the horizon,
Oh,
and this thing's like low.
okay. I hear you.
Like it looked, in my opinion, it did not look more than probably. I don't think it was a mile away from the Earth.
I can't visualize a mile up, you know? I can't even visualize a mile straight in front. Like, I've never seen a flat mile. And, well, I probably have, like,
I mean, I
going
haven't
to
either, but I would
Colorado.
guess this thing was probably 600 to 800 feet away
Yeah.
from me. If I had to take a wild guess,
I really
people
want to
that are good
know.
with numbers are good at guessing at shit like that for some reason.
Yeah, and I suck with numbers. I can't do numbers.
Yeah, I'm really good with numbers.
But I'd like to just be on a flat plane and see like how far away a mile is. You know?
It's,
I mean, you can see probably
you can see it, but
3
it's
miles
out there.
before it starts getting like unseeable if you're looking at a flat plane. Look at flat Earth videos of the ocean, like when they take the cameras and zoom in,
Hmm.
you can see like land on the other side after they zoom in with these long ass cameras.
There we go. There's a topic. Flat Earth.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. We've already been going an hour and a half. I don't know if we want to get into flat Earth. I could do that for probably a couple hours alone.
Okay, let's not. What's next on the?
So drones and AI were the last
Okay.
things.
Well, we didn't do Nissan, Mitsubishi, and Honda.
Oh yeah, the
Oh,
merger.
Yep. Justin, what you're the expert. What you got?
I just feel like that it's weird that you got three high profitable,
Nissan and Honda.
yes, Japanese companies coming together to save one company, which is Nissan. But Nissan has focused solely on electric, and that's why I feel like they're going under, because my deal is like, okay, America has focused solely on electric. Like, oh yeah, fucking, let's do
Yeah,
electric.
we have.
Yeah. But are all these other countries, are they the exact same way? Like, are they pushing this big agenda?
If they're in the what is that, the Paris Peace Treaty or what, or the climate treaty thing?
Peace support.
Yeah. Then they should be. They're supposed to be. I think a lot of countries are doing it, pushing it maybe
Pretty
even a
much
little
everybody is,
more.
except China, the people that make the equipment for all of us to sustain ourselves off of fossil
Right.
fuels.
I think they probably
They make all the money.
when Trump got elected, they're like, oh fuck, we focused solely on this electric bullshit, and Trump's gonna go and
Go the opposite way.
right.
He's
And
not going to go the opposite way.
I don't think he'll go the opposite way, but like he won't focus solely on electric.
Cars. There will be a market for electric cars.
I think we'll go more in the hybrid direction. I've heard Trump say that he thinks hybrids are good ideas.
Hybrids are great.
We have focused on. We have not refined that enough to like cancel it out and be like, oh, let's go straight to electric.
Yeah.
Right.
There's so much innovation that we can do in that genre.
With all these buses and stuff, like you can't just put electric buses in here. Like the smarter thing to do would be to put hybrid buses in if you're wanting to save fuel economy.
Right.
Don't put straight electric buses in here. That's not a good idea at all.
But I'm kind of excited for, like, let's say they quit focusing on electric. They quit focusing on electric, and they like. Could you imagine the fucking
Fuel
cars they
economy.
produce? No, like you got Honda and Nissan making cars together. Like
I
got the-
think we need to find a different
you
fuel
got the
source.
Type R, and they could come up with some like crazy, freaking cool sports cars if they really wanted to do it.
Yeah.
You know,
Make a real,
we'll see if they do it, but
What do
make a badass affordable sports car.
yeah.
What do you think about hydrogen?
So dude. I'm for it. You know, you still have a
Yeah.
combustion engine, but you don't have gasoline. All right, I'm all for combustion engine. I think they're great, but converting hydrogen is very hard, and we're not very good at it.
I'm gonna
If
cut you off right there,
fix that.
Jason. Remember that video I sent you? That guy making that hydrogen fuel cell?
What is it? Is it with jars and shit?
Yeah, it was like cheap ass, and he hooked it up to his.
Jars and like
Also-
plates and shit.
Well, no, it wasn't jars and plates. It was like this plastic, like container, and he had water in there and some other shit. I forget
Right.
what all he had in there.
So yeah, I mean you can make hydrogen that way, but it's not. You don't produce enough to fucking make a difference. I mean, yeah, you can suck it into the intake, and it might do a little bit, but
Yeah, that's what they were doing, was hooking it up into the intake manifold.
yeah,
And come in through there. I was wondering, like, what that would actually do.
it would help fuel mileage. Don't get me wrong, but I don't think it would produce enough
Make
to
that bigger
actually,
difference.
yeah, make like a big difference. You couldn't
Maybe
fill
that's
your fuel tank.
maybe that's an experiment we should do on here.
Didn't
There
that
needs to be.
Those things,
didn't that
and
guy
record
get
it.
killed?
huh?
Didn't that
No.
guy get killed?
So
This is
way back in the day, there was a guy that made a carburetor that would run like,
Off of water.
yeah, and he ended up getting shot and killed. Well,
There's been like 4 of those guys.
he wasn't shot and killed. He like had a heart attack or, one of those deals that like right after he got out of a meeting with either Chevron or one of the big oil companies.
Yeah, there's been like 4 of those guys.
The oil companies are that reminds me.
Ruthless.
Landman. Have you guys seen Landman?
Uh-uh.
No, you were bringing this up. Yeah.
So it's a Paramount Plus TV show, and it has Billy Bob Thornton in it, and he's like this guy that
Okay. I think I saw a preview for
oversee
it.
oil pumps in Texas, and he like the amount of shady shit he's got to do to like keep these pumps running, and dude, it's good, and it really makes you understand how much money. So they pump 250 barrels a day from one pump, and let's say oil right now is $70 a barrel. So 250 times 70 is like $17,500 a day. That's how much money they make. And if they have 50 of these things running, dude, like, so $17,500 a day times 365 is like almost $4 million. They make $4 million off of one pump a day. Well, one pump a year. And if you have 50 of them, could you imagine the amount of money that you make? Like, stupid. That's how prominent the oil industry is. And this is just in Texas.
Yeah, it's
Well, that's got more oil than anything.
looks like it's $6,387,500 a year.
for one pump a year.
Yeah, one pump a year.
And you said it was what, 7?
I said it was like 4. So I was
Four.
way off.
I
And he
mean,
has
4 is pretty close.
That's 50 of them pumping.
Yeah, that's a lot of money.
We got any viewers or anything, Ethan?
We got one person watching right now. We've had one pretty much the whole time, but they went away after we came back from break, and now there's somebody else. Or it's the same person, I don't know. We got one more comment.
Let's see what the comment is.
Says it's from Elizabeth. So I think it is Declan.
Of course.
No, it's got to be Liz because she isn't smart enough to write what she wrote.
Exactly.
It's got to be Liz, you said?
Yeah, about the whole Adam and Eve eating the apple.
I don't know. Like, there was a misspelled word earlier, and there's not like commas or like anything like that. So that's what makes me think it's Declan. But it says, who. See, this is another. It says, who where the other two guys, and two is spelled T-O. So, but it says, who were the other two guys that were on the other crosses that were around Jesus's cross? I don't know the answer to that question.
There were 2
Yes.
thieves.
As far as I know, there wasn't any.
Yeah, there were. There were 2 thieves.
Oh, is that in the book, the Bible? They talk about these two. I've
Yeah,
never.
one of the thieves like makes fun of Jesus, saying
So-
like, the Son of God, like, why are you getting killed? Like, you're a punk. And then the other thief is like, I believe in you. I know you're the Son of God. And he's like, and Jesus replied back to him, at the end of the day, we will be in paradise together, or something like that, because they're both getting killed at the same time.
Right. Have you read the whole book?
Not yet. No, I'm a little further than halfway.
I've never read the whole book.
Yeah, me neither.
I've only read like the beginning, and I've tried. So I told my dad, I was like, hey, if I'm gonna fully understand this thing, I need to go. Like, I need a book reading. Like, well, I'll read this shit, and we did that for like 2 or 3 months, and the guy wanted to wander off into other chapters. I was like, I'm done. I can't jump around.
Well,
How's
read it yourself.
anybody supposed to fully understand what's going on in a church if you don't read the Bible from front to back? I mean, most people that go to church have never read it from front to back. Do you not agree with me?
Well, I know a lot of the. I've noticed a lot of the like churches, different sects that you go to and everything. Like, they want you to read the Bible in a different organization of what it is. Like
Like
and then
Star
they
Wars
harp
films.
more on certain books than others and stuff. Like, yeah, it's. I mean,
It's a big book, don't get me wrong. It'll take a long time to read.
I mean, I'm on about 2 years of reading, and I've read a chapter probably at least every day, maybe a little more. And I'm a little over halfway through.
Yeah. I don't my theory is that like you can't you have no opinion until you've read that thing from the front to back. That's my opinion.
Well, I don't know how the New Testament is because I think I'm still in the Old Testament. But like they're out of order. Like there's definitely something off with the structure of the Bible.
Aren't there books that are
Yeah,
like
there's other books that aren't involved in the Bible that are
yeah,
real books.
right?
Yeah.
And shouldn't they be in there? Like, don't you have to read those too to completely understand the Bible?
I mean, they're tied in with the same characters from the Bible and everything.
Right. Okay.
I have not read them, but I would assume that they're real.
Yeah.
Just because I know that the way the Bible's set up, the Bible that we're given is not the real Bible.
Well, you'll never be able to read the real Bible. I mean,
Don't the is it the
it's
Catholics?
been translated to
Yeah.
a way a human would translate it. It's not like people are going to change it to the way they feel or think that it should be.
Yeah, it's been corrupted a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was Declan, by the way. He commented saying it's Declan, and then he removed the comment.
Oh,
Little turd.
but like we're going to a church right now that pastor's pretty smart, and
That young kid?
yeah, he
Yeah,
said
I
he's
like
like
him.
your age or something.
Huh?
He said he's like around your age, or
Yeah, I mean, he looks familiar.
but he's pretty intellectual about stuff. Like, oh, the birth of Christ is not December 25th. That's a big lie, and he's
Yeah.
just that. Like,
He's down with that.
yeah,
So what's the real
it was
date?
When did you think it was?
it was actually in like September, sometime in September when he was actually born. Not in December 25th. That's just like something that the uh oh, so there's Catholics and then there's what's the one with the Pope? What are they called?
That's Catholic.
Roman Catholic.
Roman Catholics. So the Roman Catholics are the one that came up with December 25th. It's not actual Christians that came up with it. It's Catholics. And it's crazy. Like if you read so we're reading a book right now about Catholics of how different their religion is than Christians. Like Catholics they're out there, man.
Well, I mean, it's so weird that people are reading the same book and like coming out with so much different outcomes.
Yeah. Like Catholics, they came up with the whole blood and eating a piece and then like drinking wine. That was
Yeah, that stuff seems like a ritual to me.
yeah, and then you got to do the Hail Marys. You got to go talk to the dude and like
Tell
tell
your sons to some stranger.
yeah, and then you got to do
Hey,
the
let's
Marys.
tell
Oh,
that shit to
you do
God, not
6 Hail Marys and you're forgiven. Like no,
no.
that's not how it works.
Yeah.
So this is my question here. So one, I got two of them. One, in the Bible it says nowhere that you got to eat a piece of bread as the body and drink wine as the blood. That
Correct.
Exactly.
it says nowhere in the Bible that you got to do that.
It says nowhere.
Okay.
Nowhere.
I mean, hold on. That is not true. In the Old Testament,
People
in the Old
that were
Covenant,
starving.
One at a time.
hold on. In the Old Testament, in the Old Covenant, that was something you were supposed to do.
Like before Jesus.
Yeah.
But I thought Jesus taught that to people.
No.
Yeah, I
I
think it is.
Yeah, I thought Jesus
Like,
taught that to
I
people.
think people misinterpreted the Bible. Like, so there were people that were starving, and he gave them bread and wine. And then people from then on have misinterpreted that that this is something that we need to do every time, and it's not. Like, he did it just for those people that were starving.
Right.
You
Why
know?
do you think wine?
Okay, so I guess I didn't clarify this. In the new era of things, New Testament age, people say that you eat the body of Christ with the
Which
bread
is-
and
right.
drink the blood with the
The blood of
Right.
Christ is the
or whatever.
wine.
But back in the day, like in the Old Testament, like they didn't say it was the body of Jesus or the blood of Christ. I forget what it was called, honestly. But that's where it started from. I know that for a fact.
Well, it had to have been a Roman Catholic church because they're the only ones that do it.
What do Jewish people do?
No, this was in the Bible. I remember reading this in the Bible.
So I thought back before Jesus they would do like sacrifices, like they would have like cows and lambs and shit that they would sacrifice on like a big.
They would have people eat bread without yeast and drink wine, which is the same thing as the crackers and grape juice or whatever.
Okay.
But sacrificing the bull and all that stuff, I don't think God ever told anybody to sacrifice a bull.
No, he didn't. He didn't.
Pagan. That's paganism.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
like they made a bull, and like that was when they were
Well,
fucking up.
Yeah, they
Like,
didn't have any direction, so they were like, "Let's fucking try this."
yeah, we'll just kill a bull for God. Well, no, that's not what he.
No. Well, that's not what they did either. They made a golden bull.
At the shrine.
Yeah.
Yeah. But they would kill an animal up there.
Yeah, God
Yeah,
never told them to do
sacrifice. I mean, animal sacrifice
being
was
stupid.
a big thing for a long time, even for Christianity. Well, it wasn't Christianity back then. I don't know what it would be. I don't know what it would be called.
Yeah.
Pre-Catholicism. But like that's Old Testament, Old Covenant stuff.
Yeah, and I think they got punished for doing that.
Well, no, there's different covenants that God has made with man. And like God, in my opinion, it seems like God's learning on his own, like with us. Like the first time he tried to, I think he tried to kill us before the flood once, and then had a change of heart, and then tried to do it again with the flood, and had a change of heart.
I can see that.
I can't remember. I've lost track of what my second question was now. We got real deep in that first one. I can't remember what my second question was.
Yeah, I don't remember either. Not
What
gonna
were
lie.
what were we talking about prior to all that?
Car bombing and
No, after, like, just before we got on this tangent here, right? Like right before I asked my question, what were we talking? We were talking about bread and wine, right? Right.
bread and wine. Yeah.
So,
Bread without yeast.
I
On the wine.
think my second question was why wine? Like, because you would think you would give them water if they're hungry and thirsty,
Wine was the drink back then.
but that doesn't quench your thirst. It makes you more thirsty.
I know. Makes
So,
me wonder if wine is really wine. Like what we consider wine today is really wine.
that's a good question. Or if wine's like
I
a
wouldn't think the
metaphorical.
Bible would be condoning alcoholic beverages like that.
Right, and I really doubt it would condone drinking some blood.
Well, it doesn't.
Yeah. Nowhere in the Bible do you drink blood.
He says it's my blood though.
No, that's a Roman Catholicism thing.
Oh, it
Yeah.
didn't say that in the Bible though.
Eat the body of the flesh of my flesh and the blood of my drink the blood of my blood.
Okay, yeah, that was my confusion. I think that was my second question, but yeah. So we have one more topic here.
Yeah.
AI. Yeah, AI. What do you think about AI?
Well, I don't like it.
I don't like it from a religious standpoint, but as like just as a regular standpoint, I love it. I use it every day.
I
But
don't use it, but I don't like it. I think that I don't think it's really AI right now. I think it's like, I mean, if it was AI, it could make decisions on its own, and it don't. I think it's an algorithm that pulls shit from the internet, and that's your answer. You know?
yeah, like it doesn't have a brain of its own that it's created, but the internet is its brain kind of a thing.
Yeah, like it's in its infancy. Once it, learns from this shit, then we will see true AI. Like
Yeah.
this is just like, an algorithm. They're
Once it gets
collecting
connected to all the other.
they're collecting data right now to create the true AI.
Yeah.
And that's what the Antichrist is going to be.
Right. Because I mean, the beast, it doesn't say really what it is, but I mean,
So hang on, you want to hear something crazy? So I just typed into Chat GPT, what is the Thunderwoods podcast? I've not talked to Chat GPT about this at all. And it said the Thunderwoods podcast is a project started by you and your two brothers. While the specific content or theme of the podcast hasn't been shared yet, it likely reflects your shared interests or unique perspectives as siblings.
right.
So
That's like odd. I feel like it was just like it was hitting the dart, but it was like in a way that is like very broad.
Broad. Yeah.
Right.
Well, what it does is it accesses every aspect of your phone. Like that Chat GPT is accessing all the information on your phone that it can get, plus all the like subscriptions that you have, like if you're logged into other like laptops and computers and stuff, it's going to collect all the information off of you about like from those computers and stuff too.
Well, it's not. So it's it's a website. It's not downloaded to my phone or my computer. It's just a website. It doesn't actually have access to my phone or computer. It
Well,
don't.
that is probably
It don't.
accessing it from the internet just
Yeah,
entirely.
yeah. It only has access to the
That
internet.
would tell me that AI is pretty fucking smart.
Yeah. Like, give me like, what should I ask it?
That's scary.
I gotta get. Okay, so hold on here. Let's really challenge this thing.
Hold on, I got a good one.
Write it down, Justin. You let's go.
Ask me.
Whoever wants to go
Ask
first.
ask if your older brother was in a car wreck. I want to see if it knows about my big car wreck that I had.
Is gonna look up police history.
Okay, so it says I don't have access to personal information or real-time data about specific individuals.
Okay, so ask it what kind of turbocharger would be on a 4G63T. I mean, there's a lot of them that could be
Yeah,
on
there's a few different ones.
4G63, what else?
T.
Yeah, 4G63T.
Okay.
Yeah, it spits out.
14B, 16G,
There's 16G.
14B.
Okay, so it's okay. You ready? It says the 4G63T engine, a legendary turbocharged 2.0 liter inline four from Mitsubishi, is commonly associated with various turbochargers depending on the vehicle model and year. Here are some common factory and aftermarket options. Factory turbochargers: Mitsubishi TD05H-14B Eclipse 1G manual, found on first generation Mitsubishi Eclipse GSX Talon TSI manual transmission. Specs: smaller size, fast spool, ideal for low to mid range power.
Right.
And
So I've learned all I need to learn. It just pulled that from the fucking internet. It don't have a fucking clue.
But
yeah.
So it listed multiple cars there. It has a popular aftermarket turbo options, and it also says key considerations for turbo choice, which it says like purpose: daily driver, street, track, or drag racing. Supporting.
So let's say I choose street. What turbo does it give me? There's
Okay, so it says if you're building a street-focused 4G63T, you'll want a turbo that strikes a balance between quick spool for responsive daily driving and moderate power gains for some fun on the road. Here are some solid options: Evo 3 Big 16G, Mitsubishi TD05H16G. Why it's great?
T25.
Why it's great: excellent balance of spool and power for street use, can make 300 to 380 HP with supporting mods, bolts directly to the 4G63T without major modifications, spool time 3000 RPM, perfect for daily drivers and occasional spirited driving. And then it says small 16G, and it lists that. FP Big 228. It says Force Performance, Garrett GT 28060 RS Disco Potato, full set HX30, and it lists all of these, but it gives reasons as to why too. I'm just skipping over all that.
I mean, it's correct on all that shit. Don't get me wrong, but it pulled that from the internet.
Yeah, but it says the best bang for buck street option, the Evo 3 Big 16G is the top choice. It's reliable,
That's what
affordable.
came on my engine, wasn't it?
Huh?
Wasn't that my engine?
That's the one that's in the fucking White Town.
The town? Yeah.
I'm still just blown away that it knows about the Thunderwoods podcast. Like I figured it'd be like, I got no clue, dude.
Like, I want to say something to me that it can't find on the internet. Like something personal.
Ask what happened to John Benet Ramsey.
There you go. There you
Okay. How do you spell that?
Jean is, I think, spelled Jean, Jean.
Here.
John Benet Ramsey. So if it tells you that, oh, I can't, like a real AI is going to tell you an opinion no matter what, if it can find it on the internet or not. You know?
Right. Should I say, in your opinion, what happened to John Benet Ramsey?
No, she's dead. Like nobody knows who killed her.
Right, but when I ask ChatGPT, should I ask in your opinion, or should I just say what happened to John Benet Ramsey?
Okay, it's Jean.
No, it's Jonbenet Ramsey. I looked it up. Sorry.
Ramsey.
So should I ask it like in your opinion, or should I just ask it straight out?
Just ask it straight out.
Can
Okay.
Can you opinions?
Did you know that Gazelle, Epstein's woman,
Oh yeah. What about her?
she was good friends with John
Maxwell.
Benet Ramsey's family? Yes.
Really?
Yes.
That's interesting.
Right?
I know I've watched the podcast, and the mom, to me, the dad seems like legitimate, but the mom seems fucked, in my opinion. So here, anyways. Justin, you asked me something. Did you ask if it can have opinions?
Yeah, can I have opinions?
Well, it's given me a bunch. It's given me a bunch of shit here. So it says like John Benet Ramsey was a 6-year-old girl who was found dead in her family's home in Boulder, Colorado on December 26, 1996. Her case remains one of the most infamous unsolved mysteries in U.S. history. Here's a summary of what is known. So it's like shit we already know, basically. It doesn't opinionize anything. Let me re-ask the question with an opinion. Like, ask it, like, what is your opinion?
No. Hold on. Ask if John Benet Ramsey has any ties to Ghislaine Maxwell. You know what else is interesting about Ghislaine Maxwell?
What?
That bitch is a submarine pilot.
Oh, I think it's Jaslyn. Jaslyn Maxwell.
No, it's Ghislaine.
Oh, is it? It's spelled super weird. It's spelled Ghislaine.
Yeah, everybody calls her Ghislaine.
Jaslyn. See what it says here.
I mean, that was Epstein's little fuck toy, his little fuck slave.
Okay, so it says there is no verified evidence or credible information to suggest that John Benet Ramsey has any ties to Maxwell. John Benet Ramsey's...
I'm pretty sure I saw a picture of them motherfuckers together.
So it says...
I guess that shit could have been Photoshop.
it says John Benet Ramsey's tragic death in 1996, and Maxwell's involvement in crimes related to Jeffrey Epstein operate in completely different contexts and time frames. Speculations tying the two are typically based on internet conspiracy theories without sustained proof. And it says, what do these theories arise? Public fascination theories.
That's what they always say.
Yeah, it says okay, so verdict, speculations tying John Benet Ramsey to Maxwell are unfounded and should be approached skeptically unless verifiable evidence comes to light. Both cases remain deeply compelling but are entirely separate in nature and timeline. So it didn't really give an opinion. Oh, I didn't ask that. Let me ask it what its opinion is.
Well, we've gotten 2 hours.
Yeah. Do you guys want to keep going, or are you guys ready?
I mean, we can keep going. I'm going to have to stop and take a piss and take Devo out, but looking at this camera, looking at myself, like I feel like I need to shave, like trim my beard, line this shit up a little better.
Yeah.
Like it looks different.
Yeah, I feel like I need to tighten it up, like go higher up on my neck, give myself more of a jawline. So it did not give any opinions, and I can't ask it anymore because I've hit the free plan limit for ChatGPT. I used to pay for it, but now I can't. So
how much is it? $1?
It's not much. I can't remember how much it is, but it's not a lot. I used to pay for a monthly subscription just to ask it whatever. But now the free one that I use, it's not as good, but it's still pretty impressive. I just talked to Meta AI, and it knows almost just as much.
Yeah. Could you imagine being a teacher? Like, oh, I need an essay. And you just type it in there and it prints you out an essay?
Yeah, supposedly they have programs that can detect when something is made by AI. I don't know how the fuck that would work. That sounds like some bullshit to me.
Pattern? Yeah. No, I mean it makes sense because AI is not that advanced. It would just be pattern recognition.
Yeah.
Then AI is not AI.
Yeah, it's not AI yet.
Yeah.
At least most of the AI that we see.
Yeah, it can't create something from nothing. It's all rooted in something else that's already been created.
Hold on.
Oh, that sounds bad.
There we go. Sorry.
Fuck, that was a terrible noise.
That was awful. I'm sorry.
So are we taking another break here and then coming back once you're done?
I gotta take Devo out.
That's fine.
I connected it to my phone instead.
Okay. Well, I guess we don't have to stop then.
You guys are going along for the journey. Even this piss.
Yeah, we could hear the first time you got up to go pee, we could just hear you peeing.
Even in the other room?
Yeah.
I got a strong flow, my friend.
Like now it's actually sound canceling and I can't hear you pee, but before it was loud.
I hear about guys like having a hard time to pee, and I'm like when they get old, and I'm like, I don't think I'm gonna have that problem.
Yeah. My dick just pretty much lets that shit out.
Right?
When I gotta pee, I gotta go. I can only hold it for a certain amount of time, and then it's like I can't control it anymore.
I'm not gonna sit there waiting for shit to come out. Fuck, I can pee before I get there.
Right. Like, does it like when they try to go, are they just like pushing but nothing's
Oh,
coming out, or is it like being constipated in your dick?
I don't know. Like I've never had that affliction. I don't know. There'll be guys that are like, oh, and they're leaning over and they're holding their dick and nothing's coming out and they're just like waiting there, you know?
Damn, that's rough. Yeah,
I guess I'm lucky in that area.
or we're just not old. Well, I guess.
Kidneys were good, but my heart,
Yeah, I think
got
my.
blood pressure.
I was gonna say I think my heart's kind of fucked up too.
My heart feels fine.
It's more of a psychological deal. Like I can be fine if I'm not stressed out, but once I get stressed out, it's hard to get me to not be stressed out. It's like
Stress does do a lot to you.
Yeah,
like
stress. Like I'm stressed until the next day usually.
yes. It's like just this day's done. Gonna be
Yeah, once you get stressed, like the day's over.
or when I get mad, like I'm mad and like just forget about it. You know, I'm not gonna come down till I go to sleep and wake up and it's the next day. You know.
Yeah, I think I can get mad and not mad in the same day. It takes me a long time to get over shit though. Like I'll sit there and think about like even like I'll just think about shit for a long time.
Like yesterday, we were going to Walmart. All right, and we buy shit and we're coming back, and Liz is like, she's on her phone. Blah, 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 blah. She just drops that shit. She's like, I'm done. I'm done. I'm done. And the entire time I'm driving, I'm like, oh shit. Like I did something wrong, you know? Like I forgot to stop somewhere or do something. And I'm like, what's wrong with you? You know, I'm like, what's wrong? She's like, no, forget about it. You know, I'm like, well, just tell me what's wrong. No, I'm done. I'm done. You know, and I'm like, and it could be nothing I did. Nothing I did. But the minute she gets in that attitude, it like fucks my whole day up. It's like, just tell me, you know, was it me? But she won't ever tell me if it's me. So I think it's me the entire day. And I'm like, oh, fuck. Oh, you know,
Yeah.
and it eats at me all day. And it's like, just fucking tell me if it was me or not me. You know?
Yeah, it's like when somebody's like we have to talk and then don't give you any.
Yeah, they're pissed off. They don't want to talk. Like, oh, I got, you know, like, was it me? If it was
Right.
me, just tell me if it was me.
Yeah, like what did I do?
Better, you know. But girls are good about like, oh, fuck you. Like, I'm not gonna tell you. It could have been somebody else. They'll ruin your whole day, and not even give a shit. You know?
Did you ever figure out what it was?
No. Yesterday, I did not. And I felt like shit the entire day.
What time did it happen?
Went to Walmart like maybe 5, 6 o'clock. You know.
5 or 6. I was gonna say it may have been me because I was getting pissed off because everybody was messaging me asking where I'm at, and I'm like, I'm fine. Like, I'm
Like
just
I was outside working in the garage, doing shit, working on a car, and Liz, like I left the door open, a big mistake. And she's in there in the kitchen cooking shit, and she's like yelling and screaming if, you know, like shit's not going her way. And I closed the door because I don't want to hear it. That shit stresses me out. If I'm gonna work on a car, I don't want loud noises and shit.
right.
And I closed the door, and she comes out there and opens the door, and she's like, why'd you close the door? And I'm like, because I didn't want to hear screaming and yelling. And she's like, oh, you never do. You know, like, you
Well,
never.
yeah.
And shut the door. And I'm just like, oh, you know, like, oh, God. I could have done without that, you know? Holy shit. Just tell me when dinner was done. That
Maybe when she's not upset, you should bring that up and just be like, "Hey, this is what would help me in this situation."
like I grew up
You
in a
guys
house
see
that
out
was,
here?
I grew up in a house
Now
that
you
was
have your background blurred, so every time you're not in focus, it's blurry.
I grew up in a house that was like quiet, and like when people are yelling and screaming, like shit is not right.
Yeah,
It gets my blood pressure up, and when shit is not right, like you need to tell me, you know, so I can do what I need to do to fix shit. And when you don't tell me what I need to do to fix shit, it it's not good on my blood pressure because I
yeah.
think I did.
Yeah, every time, like, I think that's why I don't like it when there's a bunch of kids here because they run around and scream and yell and are doing shit, and I'm up here in my room and I'm just like, what the fuck is going on? Can everybody just calm down and sit down and do something to entertain themselves and not make a bunch of goddamn noise? Like, why do we got to do all this?
It gives me PTSD, man. Like like bombs are going off, and like I need to do something, but I'm in the wrong if I do something, you know. And it's like, oh,
Is it icy out there, Josh? Like,
Oh,
it sounds crunchy.
yeah, it's super icy. I put a bunch of salt out there too
How
earlier before I came inside.
Yeah. How did you switch from your laptop to your phone?
Next on the back-to-back.
That's what that weird sound was.
Yeah, but how did you do that?
My phone had the option of joining in.
Back to the merger in 1970. They are hot at the right time.
Let's see if I can do
When I
that.
pulled it up on my phone.
Yeah.
Touchdown the season, and ideally had 4
I'm
picks
gonna have to use the restroom here in a minute, but I do not want an audience.
in reigning MVP. That award began back in 1957. Derrick Henry was
Chill.
really good at that. You know?
he and Lamar become the second duo in NFL history with one rushing for at least 50.
Yeah, it does give you the option to join. That's pretty cool.
I feel like Josh knows what I'm talking about. You know, like
With what?
Yeah.
just making you feel like you're the scum of the earth. You know, like
Yeah. When your woman's not happy, like you're just stressed the fuck out and they won't tell you why the fuck they're unhappy.
yeah, which makes you more stressed out because they won't tell you what's wrong.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, no, every relationship I've been
a
in, we
lot of
talk.
times I find out and it has nothing to do with me at all. And I'm just like, I spent a long time being stressed the fuck out for no fucking reason.
That's funny.
This bitch is just crazy and she's not happy.
Oh God, dude, you need to experience it. You know, it's not.
That sounds like I don't want to experience it.
I think women are just crazy. I honestly think that is a thing.
Yeah.
Oh shit, we're still on.
Yeah, we're live. You're just munching over there.
Yeah. Oh shit. Just kidding, girls. I love you.
No, I thought you were worried about the fact that I can see your hand just like eating.
Yeah, another tilapia fillet.
Why don't you just do that at your desk? And I can also hear your TV in the background. Like if I were to rate the stream at this moment, I'd give it a C.
All right. All right, again.
Like before we went and get Tina's mom, she's like, will the truck pull a trailer back from Ohio? And I'm like, yeah. She's like, okay. And I'm like, okay. And she's like, and there ain't no way in hell. So I've bought the truck, fucking fixed it up to where it's good. And there ain't no way in hell I'm gonna let her fucking drive this thing across state lines and pull a trailer back. And she's never pulled a trailer.
Yeah, fuck that.
And she's like, wanted to do it. I'm like, no, there's no way. I'm going with you, and I will drive and I'll pull it all the way back. You know. But I'm the piece of shit because I didn't think that she could do it by herself. It's like, no, like that's not. I just don't want you to be stressed out. I'll take the stress. Just let me pull it back. Oh my God, you don't know. You don't know until you get an old lady, man. You just. I wish you knew.
Glad I don't. Glad I don't. Oh, Josh just left. Oh, there he is.
Switch back.
Now you're at the bottom on my screen. You guys flip positions. Well,
And so we put some wallpaper up in the kitchen. And like, Liz was pissed off that it wasn't like perfect. You know, like, oh. And I'm like, it's not gonna be perfect. I'm not a contractor. Like, I don't know how to fucking make the shit perfectly line up. Like, you got the wrong guy if you want that shit to happen. Like, I'll get it.
Need to be.
Do it. If you want to pay somebody to do it, okay. But like, I think it looks pretty good, you know. But she'll like look at it and she's like, oh, you know, there's I can see some gaps and blah 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 blah. And like, the only way I could get it perfect is if there was no cabinets and all this shit and like, saying it's just ain't no way.
here, I'll be right. I gotta go to the bathroom.
If it was an automobile, fuck yeah, I could get fucking perfect. I don't do fucking house shit. I don't do house shit. It's too artistic. There's too many measuring and like.
Are
it's
you
like
pausing?
No, I'm not pausing. I'm just gonna let you guys go while I use the restroom.
Okay.
I mean, we didn't pause when you were gone, so.
Oh, you didn't?
No. Did you want me to? Nobody ever answered when I asked earlier.
I didn't hear you ask. I'll take a pause.
Okay, so we're gonna pause. All right, we'll pause for a little bit.
I got some